to the maize family, and their harvest period is towards the end of the year. So I think I would want to advise the company to find way in which they can partner with farmers that are actually cultivating sorghum. And from last year's season, Gombe State was actually one of the highest producers of sorghum. There are so many companies that are playing there. They aggregate sorghum so much. Talking about insecurity, then you actually don't need to go into those areas. You actually just need one or two people that maybe agents that can actually bring, instead of putting warehouses or places in places that are not secure, you can put your warehouses in maybe safer places. Then those farmers can, they use their trucks, they have trucks, they use their trucks to bring the crops from the bush to the warehouse, which is also nice. So I just want the company to look into um, sorghum business this year. Is actually a high yielding crop too. Thank you.
Okay. No,
All right, thank you very much. So we have a Delta, so just allow me to finish up this question. Thank you.
am I on here?
Yes, we can hear you then. Please go.
You are live. We can hear you.
So sorry for the break. So let me quickly introduce myself again and run through what I've been saying all over things. All right, thank you very much. Okay. So I said yeah, thank you very much. I said we'll be looking at commodity trading, knowing the best commodity and environment that brings profit. So we'll be expanding this topic slide by slide, and hopefully, I know you are going to have questions after my presentation. Thank you very much. So here, I said, what is even commodity trading? What is commodity trading? This is one of the questions we need to ask ourselves when we want to go into any agribusiness. What am I trading? What are commodities? Or what is commodity? All these things we must ask ourselves. And I said, commodity trading is the half of buying and selling. I just want to limit my definition. Buy and selling of what? Now, buy and selling of raw materials. What are the raw materials? Raw materials.
All right, I think we lost the here again. Let me invite Salah Ibrahim to have a session. So if we're able to get the before the end of this meeting, fine, but I hope we should be able to get into Salah, please. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, thank you for joining this webinar. We hope you'll be having a good time and learning something. So, basically, I'm not speaking or saying much except just letting all our vendors and our active farmers there, just letting you know on the current commodities that we have on ground that I believe are currently in season. I think some of our other experts in here who can also give us some more ideas on that. Then we'll also be talking about offers that we currently have for off-takers on this WhatsApp platform. So currently, I believe we have commodities like uh, cashew nuts currently in season, and we know there are some farmers that are still, in the farm getting it all out. Then we also have commodities like crude palm oil also very much in season. We also have, though we have the commodities like cocoa, light cocoa coming up now. We have buyers who are currently ready to take those. So, though, just like I'm sure everyone who is very much into the agri space will know that currently the federal government has opened the border. So we have grains, especially maize, coming in from other countries since the border has been opened. So grains like maize, white maize, yellow maize are still out. Yeah, they are still in season, though in some areas, I believe not in much quantity since new harvests or new planting are beginning. Then we also have, uh, I think, yes, oil palm. I think I already talked about, okay, cool palm oil palm also, then palm kernel. I think for those commodities, we have buyers for all of them who are ready to uptake them. We have buyers ready to uptake them. For the cashew nuts, we have buyers. We have for the crude palm oil also. Then for the maize and then for soya beans. So soya beans is currently scarce, but we know there are some vendors who have ordered and are ready to sell. So for anyone who has all these commodities, you can always reach out to us and then we'll communicate the current prices to you so we can work on making supplies. Then for with regards to profit maximization, I'll just give you my own little input to that. So when it comes to, though we know farming does farming, your inputs, your harvesting, everything, they all factor into making profit for farmers. But I believe what happens after the production, the post production are also very important. What are you using in harvesting your commodity? Do you have the market to sell your commodities? And these markets, are they good enough for you? All these kind of questions are what are needed to be answered to maximize your profit. So I believe if someone wants to make good enough profit, to be able to make their plans when it comes to their commodities or their crop that they planted and they're ready to sell. Or even if you're not a farmer, you're someone who stocks commodities from the farmers. You have your plants, and you don't just go to the market, buy a commodity, and then you see you want to sell. Of course not. So you have to do your findings. Where is the best market you want to sell your commodities to? Of course, then your that commodity you want to sell. What is the specification for it? The specification, is it good enough for to earn you more profit? Because I'll give an example of buyers on our platform. We have buyers who take the same commodity, but one will value the commodity more than the other because of the different uses for it. So let's say, for example, I'm sure a lot of crop merchants here will know Olam. Let's say Olam. Then we have another grain buyer. We have Tolerance. So if you're a farmer, you have your planted yellow maize. and then you've harvested, you've done your cleaning, you've dried, you've sorted out foreign matters and all that, and you're ready to sell. So, which is your best market now between Olam and between Tolerance? So, and then uh, if you don't do your findings, you might just end up just say, let me just sell to anyone. Of course, you might be lucky and then you're selling to the one that will favor you. But if you've done your findings before you make it, before you harvest, before you planted and harvested, you made your plans, you know your variety and all. So you already know your target market. Let's say a farmer that has done their assignment before planting, you know that they've done their findings, know the different buyers that we have. You know that Toleram now, they've done their research. Toleram takes yellow maize, but Toleram will give me, if Toleram will give me 250,000 naira per ton for this my maize. Oh. Okay. And this 250,000 is like 30% higher than the average price expected from every other buyer. So, okay, let me find out what Toleram wants. Why does Toleram use this huge price for their commodity compared to others? So, I believe a good farmer or even a merchant, if you're successful, you find out all these little things on for reasons how you can get a better price. So just like you're saying now, for Toleram now we say, okay, the farmer finds out that okay, Toleram uses their own grains for human consumption. Okay, so that means they are going to be very strict with their policy. Okay, he has noted that down. They are going to be very strict about other people or even other properties of the yellow maize. Then the variety too. They want to know the variety of the yellow maize, or maybe they even have this special variety that they only pick. So once a farmer is able to sort out all these details and they go ahead and plan accordingly, of course, by the time his grains are ready for harvest, without any ego or any other problem, he's able to sell his commodity to this highest bidder with tolerance. Of course, this is just an example. I'm not saying tolerance is the highest bidder for commodities in Nigeria. So he's able to sell a commodity to the highest bidder and make more profit than every other farmer around. So, but if he hadn't, but peradventure maybe he even planted a very good quality that Toram is able to offer him higher price. But he didn't know, he's not aware of it. He just go ahead and sell it to anybody. He could even sell it to someone like Olam, who they don't use their commodities for human consumption, they use their commodities for animal feed. So they will take, even Olam will take hybrid and non-hybrid commodities at the same price because take it at the same price because they don't, they are not very specific about their quality. So they won't say because your maize is hybrid that will offer you higher price compared to what other buyers do. So that's why it's actually good that before right from your planting, your then down to your harvesting and to your post production and then supply to the market, you know all these details about your commodity, either maize, cocoa, cassava, rice, or everything. So that at the end of the day, you're maximizing the best and getting enough profit that would favor you at the end of the day. So I think I will just, that's my only little input is profit maximizing the market. You know your market. then you know who you want to sell to. I know a lot of farmers in Nigeria, especially in the north, they just want to sell their maize. They'll just take it to the market, just go and sell. But if you're able to do some good research into where maybe a buyer who will give a higher price, of course, you'll be maximizing all your efforts, getting more for all your goods. So, and I believe that's why we are here for grower sales to help farmers, help vendors, help merchants get the best for all their commodities. So that's why we onboard the best of buyers, and then we get prices from them, the best of prices, and they communicate to you, and then we give you advice when you need it. We are going to make advice to our farmers, to other farmers, and then just help you to earn more for your living. So I think I'll stop there. We have Abel here now. Abel, can you hear us, please? Hello,
Yeah,
Abel.
yeah. Hello, Adishola.
Okay,
Hello,
so do you want
Luashola.
to continue now? Is your network good now?
Yeah, I'm okay now. My network is fine now. Can I join?
Okay, okay,
I
all
mean, can I
right. So I
continue
will
with my
just
presentation?
okay, I'll just quickly round off my own section here. Okay. So do we have any question or observation, or if you even add to what I've said for these few minutes, I would like some contributions from anyone. Okay, I'm not saying anybody's hand. Okay, I have Ariel, Mr. Do you want to give us an input into what you think about the maximizing profit? Okay, Gabriel, please go ahead.
All right.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone, to this webinar. Briefly before Abel comes up again, I think he's having slight issues on for network. I just want to stress on this point and on what Abdul has said, as well as touching what asked. Uh, Profit maximization. What an interesting topic to deal with this afternoon, and improving your productivity this season. For every business, it is very important to note that the sole aim is for profit making. So, and how is this being done? Abdul has stressed emphatically on several strategies that we should put in place, or what Suacel is putting in place, and what we are also providing for smallholder farmers. Free agronomic training, and to smallholder farmers, farm input, mechanization support, uh, and several others. So more to that is that market place, having ensuring that our crop sellers, our farmers have access to the marketplace to trade their commodities freely and within the shortest possible period of time. So all these are key strategies Zoacell is putting in place to ensure profit maximization to its customers, to crop sellers, and to farmers. And on this note, Mr. Favor made this point, and he said uh, sorghum, one of the key multi used commodities, has its own. The productivity last year was high. I would like you to note also, not only in Gombe State is sorghum produced, we are in a neighboring state currently, Jigawa State, and other northwestern state that also does sorghum. So just as Abdullah said, we are expanding our tentacles and our network to several other parts of the country, and I was very soon touch ground in these northeastern states. So now, so sorghum. So because of its its usefulness for food production and beverages, it's also one of those commodities that is being traded on our platform. Just as Shola has also rightly said, there are several there are several buyers of sorghum on our platform. Just let us know the volume you have on ground. Let us know what you have on ground to to sell on Zoa Sell platform, and you'll be given direct access to you'll be given access to buyers on our platform and be able to supply your commodities. Thank you. I think Abel, if you can hear me, I think you can come in now to do your presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gabriel. Thank you for your contributions. Good afternoon once again. Sorry, I went off. I think network just it's not treating me right here today. Hopefully, we quickly finish up our presentation before our stipulated time. So let me quickly continue, please. Yeah, can anyone remind me where I actually stopped? Mr. Favor.
Yes, sir.
You were talking on commodities.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that means I'll start all over again. So I've defined commodity trading. I've talked much about that. Then I've defined what commodities are and how we can actually get them at our various regions. And I also said something about someone in Nasarawa not trying to trade commodities that he or she does not have in his domain. I said someone in Nasarawa should not approach CBN to get loan for him to be sourcing cocoa when all he has around him or her are maize, sorghum, wheat, and so on and so forth. So we must understand our environment. So I quickly said something about that too. Then I said, how can I trade my commodities? All the presenters that have been talking since have been mentioning one fact that we have a platform where we have already made premium buyers that are willing to buy at good prices from you. It's now left of you to be there on that platform to make yourself available. That I'm having so number of tonnage to supply. They can actually reach out to you, or we reach out to you. That actually, do you have this certain amount of tonnage you said you are possessing? Will you be willing to sell at this price? And one thing we're actually selling on that platform that I've said, whether when I'm offline or here, is that we have total transparency on that platform. Nobody can shortchange you as a seller or as a buyer. So we have so many platforms in Nigeria, which I wouldn't mention, but the one I know that I can actually vouch for is that of Zoacell Marketplace. So we have commodity exchange platform in Nigeria, even all over the world. We know them. We have in South Africa, we have in Singapore, we have London markets. We have some new emerging commodity exchange here in Nigeria. We have them also. Which one of them is Zoacell Marketplace platform? So we are not only active, we are also exchanging market exchanging place. We are market buyers or commodity buyers and sellers can meet. So also, I've said something on how we can actually connect buyers and suppliers. Hello, can you guys hear me? Am I communicating?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
like thank God, thank God. Very well, thank you very much. We have
Yes.
that opportunity or capacity to connect buyers and sellers with little or no
Sir.
interference. I've said that too. Connecting commercials with large and small scale producers in transparent and regulated marketplace is advantageous to both parties. Of course, we have minimized your risk. I don't know if someone is actually getting this. Now, you have a platform where you can actually connect with various buyers. You don't have to send someone to go to Lagos to go and check by Calbot and ask for their price. And how can you move your cocoa from Ilesha to Lagos? You have a platform where you can actually reach out to them. What price are they buying? What price can they buy and the quantity they can take at a time? So it has minimized the risk level. whereby you don't have to travel anyhow. You don't have to take your funds from one place to the other. Like someone said the other time, we have what's it called? Insecurity everywhere. I think we have solution for that. If you have goods in northeast, let's say Maduguri for instance, and you want to move down goods from Maduguri down to Lagos, you don't have to travel by yourself. Just let us know. I have 300 metric tons of wheat, and I want to move it down from Lagos to Ibadan or anywhere we have warehouses. Just connect with us. It is our duty to reach out to our logistic partners if they can go to that place. Of course, mind you, Abdul said something the other time that there is insurance on your goods. Do you have to? You don't have to. You don't have any fear. That means your goods moving from Maduguri to the side has been insured. If anything will be happening to it, your risk has been minimized. So you can see now that you have like a home for you to thrive as a young or new merchant or coming up entrepreneur. So the platform is there for you to make use of, and it is very easy. You have the advantages, and we are going to minimize your risk as a producer or as a consumer. Now, I want us to look at commodities trading ecosystem. Here, I think I was actually on this. I've talked a lot about this before the network took me off the radar. Here, you have to understand the ecosystem of your business before you venture into it. Don't just take money and invest anyhow. Don't go to collect loan from CBN. Like I said, don't start buying cocoa where you don't have cocoa. Don't start buying maize where you don't have maize. If Honorable Bajabi Amila can go to the CBN to take 5 billion, coming down to Ilesha to set up a warehouse where he will be buying grains, Honorable Bajabi will lose all his money because he can never get the tonnage that will meet up with that fund. He can never get the tonnage that will meet up to pay his staff salary. So that means he does not understand the ecosystem of his trading. Agro commodity trading, you have to understand few things. Those things I will be showing you here. Now, the first one, like I said, is to understand what are the legal, regulatory, and framework. You have to know all this before you actually come into the business. Now, if you are coming into the cocoa business, you should know that as an entrepreneur, merchant, exporter, or producer, or processor, you must register yourself, whether you like it or not. Where am I going to register myself? How am I going to register myself? Is it as a merchant, as local buying agent, as an exporter, or as a processor? What are the documents that are required of me to get before I can get registered? All these things you must know. What are the policies guiding my business? As an exporter in some region, it is well known that you cannot source more than 100 bags at a time. If someone is bringing 1 bag to your warehouse, they are going to sanction you. If you are buying 2 bags and they sanction you and you are paying heavily for 500 metric tons because of 2 bags, you know that you have yourself to blame. You have to understand what are the legal requirements surrounding that business where I want to set up myself. The second one is grading and standardization. Now, you must be careful not to buy water as commodities. We are very funny in Nigeria. We are very funny in Africa. That transparency and sincerity is something we need to actually pitch to ourselves that we must actually imbibe. So many producers will sprinkle sand or stones into their cocoa beans. Why? Because they want to have more weight than normal normal harvesting yield they got from their farm. That's not fair. And you as a person or as a coming businessman, if you are not careful, you are going to buy sand instead of beans. And when you take your cocoa to the final store or warehouse of the first buyer, they will discount you heavily. That can lead to anything else. Do you understand the ecosystem or the socio-cultural background of that environment you want to operate? Don't buy water as cocoa bean. We all know. If they bring cocoa bean and the cocoa bean is not well dry, you don't have good apparatus to test it like Aqua Boy, and you buy it, you weigh it, you store it, you are bouncing around that I'm a millionaire because I have millions in my store. At the end of the day, when you take that cocoa to the warehouse where you're going to buy it, where you're going to sell it, you will cry. So understand the standardization and grading. Not only grade